Liam Fenton, Global Head of Dairy and Food. How are you doing?
Great to meet you, Maro Itoje, head of the Lions winning team.
You're far
Captain,
too kind.
yeah.
You're far too kind. So when I got my notes for this and I was looking at the titles and I saw Liam Fenton, Global Head of Dairy and Food, then you walked in and I heard your accent. Then I thought, isn't it typical that an Irishman is the head of dairy?
Yeah, I know. Look, they wanted to put me head of drinking and entertainment, but that title had already gone, so they gave me next best thing, which was head of dairy.
Perhaps if there was a Guinness division, you would be head of that too.
Yeah, well, if you can make it happen. You know, as winning captain, I'm sure you have some pull someplace, right?
So tell me, it might sound like a reasonably silly question, but what drew you towards the dairy industry?
Well, I grew up on a dairy farm in the southwest of Ireland, so the farm has been in our family for 350 years. I wanted to be a farmer, but my father said, no, you have to go and get a job, you know, be it a priest or whatever, but you're not going to be at home on the farm. I was the eldest of 5 kids, basically went and worked in a bank, and they sent me to New York trading commodities and got into developing the dairy risk management here in Europe then. So we have like 90% of the market here in Europe from a hedging perspective, financial hedging perspective in Europe. But it's in my blood, so to speak. I grew up on a dairy farm, work in the dairy industry, and it's something I feel passionate about and something we love, really.
So I think many people externally, and myself included, is at first glance when you think of StoneX, you think of currencies, you think of precious metals, you don't think of cheese or milk. So if you could walk us through, like in layman's terms, what a typical day looks like for you.
I guess on a typical day, we're always helping our clients. Our clients are number one, basically. And so what do they want and what do they need? So you're looking at markets and trying to figure out what's at play. What are prices moving up? Are they moving down? Is it a real move? Is it something that's just going to drift and stay level? And then you're trying to engage with the clients, trying to understand what they're looking to do. They're basically looking to manage their risk. You know, like people think hedging and that side of things is about selling the high and buying the low. It's not. It's about margin. It's about trying to manage that difference between your inputs and your outputs. And that's what we're looking at on a day-to-day basis. Where are the input costs? What prices? Everything on that side. And does that give enough margin for our customers to hedge their outputs as well? So it's about the margin management in their business, you know, that you're trying to do. I suppose, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a similar world for you, but you're trying to manage the scoreboard as you're going through a game. You know, you're like, yeah, where are we? You know, should we go for points here or should we kick for the corner and try and get a try? You know, it's like, are we in the 90th minute or are we in the 30th minute, you know? So it's that all the time you're assessing for your clients. Is this a good opportunity for them to lock in margin? No, let's sit tight. We think milk is going to go higher. Costs are not exactly moving right now. And that's the dynamic of what we're trying to do every day.
And typically, who are your clients? Who are the type of people that come looking for advice in this area?
All businesses have the same principle of managing margin, be you a farmer or be you a multinational. And we work all along the supply chain. So we have customers who are farmers in the likes of New Zealand, customers who are farmers in the likes of the US, then the processors who are processing their milk. They're then trying to manage their margin as well. And then you have the traders that they're potentially selling to, and they're buying and selling and trying to manage their margin. And then you have the multinationals at the end of the day, or any of the end users that you see producing the product on your shelves, quick service restaurants that you might go to. They're all trying to do the same thing. So we work all along the supply chain. We have expertise and knowledge to bring all along that chain as to regards how they can manage that price risk.
Within the UK, farming has been in the news of recent months as in relation to inheritance tax, etc., etc. From what you're seeing, being in the industry, can you outline some of the biggest challenges facing dairy farmers?
We deal with one aspect of their risk, but they're dealing with everything from very complicated form filling to keep the Department of Agriculture happy. They're dealing with labour challenges, labour costs, they're ever increasing. And that's a general sort of trend that farmers have. It's where costs are continuing to rise, where you're not getting the same increase in the milk price. And so it's a tough business. You know, that's probably their biggest challenge, is all the bureaucracy that goes with actually running a farm, and the rising costs and decreasing revenues.
I like milk. I like I'm a cow's milk. I am. I'm a cow's milk sort of
There's
guy.
only one type of milk, cow's milk.
Real milk.
That's it.
What about goat's milk?
Oh yeah, goat's milk is good too, but there's other products that call themselves milk, and they're not. They're really water added to whatever, oats, whatever. Yeah.
So oat juice, we change it to oat juice,
Yes.
almond juice.
Yes, yeah, good. Good. You should work with our marketing department.
So obviously I buy a big, I suppose a gallon.
Yeah, a guy like you needs probably two big gallons of milk.
Gallons of milk.
Yeah.
And I have it, I use it for my overnight oats. So I'm very invested in the price of milk.
Yeah.
And tell me, what needs to be done to perhaps reduce the inflationary pressure on milk for ordinary customers?
Yeah, look, I guess for ordinary customers, they want price stability. You know, you don't want to be going down to the shop and one day it's 150 and the next day it's 250. And I think that's a lot of the work that we do on a day-to-day basis with all our customers, is lending that stability in the market so as that people can plan on a medium and long-term basis. And that's what we help our customers to do, which means that when you go down to the shop to buy your gallon of milk or a pint of milk or whatever, that it's basically the same price roughly as what it has been the last year, the coming year, you know.
How do you actually get that stability?
What you're trying to do is ensure as an individual business that you're going to lock in the margin in what you're doing, because you know, if you're not making money, you're not going to be able to continue to produce the product. And if you lock that into the product, stability is a huge thing as regards if you're selling a product. You know, nobody wants your product if like you're a price up here one day, if you're £5 one day and £3 the next day and £6 the next day. You know, that sort of price action really doesn't help a product, you know, and so as a result, that sort of stability that we can bring, whereby the likes of a processor who's buying milk from the farmer, processing it, packaging it, putting it on the shelf in the supermarket, that ensures that he has his margin, he has a stable business, that he can pay the farmer and that he can deliver the product on the shelf, and that you can buy it at a relatively stable price on a day-to-day basis.
So as you've alluded to several times on this wonderful interview, I have recently come back from the British and Irish Lions tour.
Yeah, never knew that now, yeah.
And in that tour, there was obviously Englishmen, there were Irishmen.
Yeah, lots of Irishmen.
lots of English too.
Yes, yeah. Okay.
Not so many Welshmen.
No, okay, but
so
they've had their good years.
And a few Scots.
Yes.
So I just wanted to, perhaps if you could talk about the varying industries in all those four nations with regards to farming, and where are the strong points, who are the big players, who are the not so big players, just so we get a bit of understanding there.
Yeah, I guess, you know, dairy and milk products are a huge feature of the diet here throughout, let's say, I can't say it as an Irishman, but the British Isles. But you know, so it's a very important product. There has been big changes in that market given the fact of post-Brexit and the challenges that has brought. But they haven't been as big a changes as I think people thought initially. You know, they thought like situations whereby I think something like 35% of the cheddar cheese that's sold in the UK is produced in Ireland. So you know, that market was potentially going to go away post-Brexit.
Where's the others 65%?
In the UK, they produce it in the UK. So it's the thing with the likes of Ireland, right? Small population, 5 million people. They're producing a lot of dairy products, so it has to find an export market. The likes of the UK here, closer to 60, 70 million people, they're going to consume their own product. So you're looking for product to come in externally. So we're looking to the UK market as a market where we can sell dairy product. So for us, it's very much an export market. Probably for the UK, it's very much an internalised market more. But having said that, your product also gets exported.
So I asked that question because I basically wanted to irk out of you that England has a bigger, more powerful dairy economy than an industry than Ireland. So can you just confirm that, please?
Yeah, no, I can't. No, look, obviously the UK is going to have the natural population strength, you know, but, you know, similar to like the amount of people that were relatively on the lines, British and Irish and British Lions tour, you know, the majority of the players were Irish. So,
but I must say, if you include the management, you know,
yes.
the English head coach,
yes,
Simon Easterby, English as well. He's from Yorkshire. He played for you guys, but he's English. Who else?
I know, but we're claiming the Farrells now as Irish.
Well, we know their heart is really English.
I let it slide.
You let it slide. Okay, maybe we agree to disagree on that one.
Exactly.
Disagree agreeably.
Exactly.
As it always is.
Yeah. But you might remember, actually, you were over in Ireland there playing Munster January last year, and I don't know. Do you remember that game? I think who won again? I'm trying to think who won.
I remember that game.
Yeah, that's right. Munster won, actually. Yeah, that's
they
right.
Did.
Yeah.
First time in about 6 or 7 years getting a win over Saracens.
Yeah, well, you know, it was funny because, you know, StoneX, obviously we're heavily sponsoring, as your jersey attests to, Saracens, you know, and we had Philip Smith, you know, who was over with his beautiful wife Emma and his few other friends, and, you know, just a bit of advice, you know, I think those are the games you need to win, you know, because when the main sponsor, the CEO, is there, it'd be good to drive on and win those games, you know, but that's just friendly now. I'm not here to tell the captain of the Lions team anything, but
I strongly accept and take your feedback on board.
Yeah.
I just
it's free. That advice is free.
I just like to remind you, because it seems as if your memory is very short. Of the
just like my stature. I hear you. Yeah, let's not go there.
We don't have the 3 stars on this crest at the moment, but there's 3 stars of European glory in relatively recent years. I'll say the last 10 years or so, and in that time I think Munster have 0 stars. But anyway,
actually 2
since
2008.
As of 10 years.
Oh, I can't count. I'm in the financial business. I can't count.
Well, 3-2. There's still a victor. North London reigns supreme. On that note, Liam Fenton, global head of dairy and food.
At the moment. Wait till after this interview gets raised. Management might have a different interpretation of my title.
A proud Irishman living in London.
Yes.
So proud he doesn't live there anymore.
Yeah, well, just for the taxman, I'm not actually living in London, but
okay, sure. Wink. But no, thank you very much. I've thoroughly enjoyed the interview.
Yeah,
and,
likewise.
Long live dairy.
Long live dairy.